My name is Aaron. I'm a 52-year-old man and a former infantry, marine, and marathon runner. I am documenting my path to overcome all obstacles and return to the marathon race. I ran 11 official races from 40 to 46 years old. Shortly after my last race at the Houston Half Marathon in 2018, I lost my mother to cancer. Having lost my father and mother in less than 18 months, I was crushed by waves of grief. At that, I was a new father to a beautiful daughter. I fought a costly custody battle where my daughter was kept from me for months at a time. I was broke from paying lawyers and broken from unresolved grief. Throughout this period, I continued to put on weight. I was eating like a marathon runner, but not training like one. When I did attempt to train, I would often end up injured. From a hernia at the squat rack to plantar fasciitis, shin splints, hamstring issues, Achilles tendonitis, and even gout. If you can think of a runner's injury, I've probably suffered. I even had rotator cuff surgery on my left shoulder, and I'm pretty sure I have the same thing brewing in my right shoulder now. I've walked through the fire many times in life, and I am not throwing in the towel. I am forging a new path forward. My medal rack has 12 slots to hang medals, but only 11 medals currently hang there. I will overcome these injuries and get that one last medal. I am climbing this mountain one day at a time, and come hell or high water, I will succeed. Please join me in my journey.
Yeah, this is a good time. For who, I don't know who, but this is what you do when you're probably pending another rotator cuff surgery. So this is how I'm supposed to exercise. I don't know about this. Okay, here we are on a painful road to redemption. I'm probably pending another rotary cuff surgery on my right this time. So the wife was kind enough to tie up my arm, which I don't know, maybe she enjoys torturing me just instead. Anyways, let's see how this goes. So, as I'm trying to return to training, I wouldn't even consider this really training yet. This is trying to get myself back to a path where I am able to train without injuring myself. And I'm taking it real slow this time so that I don't injure myself. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm minimizing the distance until I clear certain weight hurdles. Right now, I'm down about 20 pounds, so I'm starting to run a mile a day. And not every day, but if not, it'll be a 3-mile walk. And if I do run, it'll be a walk a mile, run a mile, walk a mile. And that's my strategy. That gives my legs time to get stretched out and also ensures that I'm going real light and I'm not, increasing my risk for injury like I've done in the past. Now, that being said, my shoulder, I've already had rotator cuff surgery on one shoulder. And it appears that I'm gonna have it possibly on the other. So I've got a bandage on right now that my wife was kind enough to tie me up with to minimize the jostling of my shoulder as I walk and run throughout the day. And it may seem silly to tie up your shoulder, but at the same time, every step I can take to minimize risk and to minimize potential injury is a step I've got to take. And here we go. Last time I was out here running, it was pouring down rain, and now this is the Texas version of a freeze. It's about 40 degrees. But the weather's just the weather. We still got to do what we got to do. So today, if you're watching, which I doubt you are, well, let's just pretend that you were. You might notice that my arm is kind of tied up to the side. Well, that is because I might have another rotator cuff issue on the other side this time. So the wife thought she'd tie me up. Not that way. But to keep my arm as protected as possible, knowing that I was still gonna go out here and run. So, without further ado, let's hit the road and see how we do. It's humbling after you ran real distance. Your ego plays with your mind, and when you're out of shape, your ego tells yourself, oh, I can still do it. I used to do this. I used to do that. And it's all a lie. And so, when getting back in shape, it takes discipline to stay humble and to realize I've got a long way to go. I never in a million years thought that I would run 1 mile. I hadn't did that since I was a kid. And I mean 8, 10. I ran further than that when I was that age. But, you know, for all the marathon miles, Marine Corps miles, all of them I put on, the reality is now I'm here. And now I got to deal with this reality. And I got to be humble. And I got to be disciplined to stick to the plan and not go beyond what my body's capable of. And I've set these brackets of weight loss where I'll allow myself to push the distance so that at least when I'm running that, my body is carrying less weight and less burden. So that's a part of the road to redemption, is being humble and meeting yourself where you're really at, not where your ego tells you you should be. We're coming up on the mile. I'm Aaron. Thanks for not listening and not watching. Y'all be cool.